Hi guys, Michael here. Welcome to our fish room. Behind me, you got the green wall. Everything there seems to thrive and grow and all is fine. So we have spent some time setting up a new rack. But first I'll give you a look into our breeding section. We breed a lot of Pseudomugil, blue eyes, and a lot of Killifish. And I'll give you a look into our method of breeding these fish. And I'll give you an update on the new rack as well. Hang on. We have quite a lot of different killifish in the fish room at the moment. Some are new arrivals and are still in the process of growing up and will be future breeders. Others are breeding already. And we have 4 different species of Pseudomugil, or blue eyes as well. And all of these are breeding. We breed non-annual killifish and blue eyes in nearly the same way. The fish are breeding in yarn mops that are placed in their holding tanks. Since there are a lot of plants in there as well, we probably don't get all the eggs. But most eggs go into the mops. The water in the tanks are mostly rainwater, so it's soft and slightly acid, but not extreme in any way. Every day Ulla collects the eggs from the mops, and the eggs are transferred to small plastic jars. We add a drop from an antibacterial solution. Each jar is labeled with a code for the fish species and a date for collecting. Ulla checks the jars daily for not fertilized or fungused eggs, and naturally for newly hatched fry as well. With a lot of different fish breeding, there's a lot of jars to keep track on. After 10 to 16 days, the eggs hatch, and the fry leave the shell with a little yolk sac that will last from a few hours to a day. We move the fry to small containers or plastic trays and start feeding. Some fry needs infusoria the first days, while others are able to start on vinegar eels, microworms, and newly hatched brine shrimp. I inspect the fry tanks every day making sure that even the smallest fry gets something in its belly. Even when some of the fry in the tank are able to eat brine shrimp, I might have to feed the smallest individuals in Pseudomugil. It's important to ensure that no one is left behind. Otherwise, the smallest might end up as food for the fastest growing fry. Some size grading can be necessary. While the fry grow, we gradually move them to larger tanks or jars. Small plastic jars are super easy to work with compared to glass jars, since they are easier to move around, stack and clean when needed. After 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the species, the fish start showing sexual dimorphism, and typically the males start getting more interesting colors. Watching a batch of young, strong, beautiful new fish of any species is just so satisfying. They are promising, and you know they'll be even more beautiful for each day. And one day they will look just as good as your breeders. Okay, that was a trip into our breeding setup. But I promised you a status on the new rack as well. Some months ago, we bought this rack from another aquarist. It was cheap, but it didn't quite fit our room. It was too high for our purpose. So we had to do a bit of customizing. I cut the lower section of the rack. It's relatively easy to work on these aluminum units. I rounded off the sharp edges and reinstalled the adjustable feet on the rack. Then I installed a piece of wood from a tabletop to distribute the weight of the rack. Finally, the setup was secured to the wall as well, so it was totally stable without any movement or wobble. Next step will be to clean the old tanks that followed the rack and get those up and running. They are meant to be grow-out tanks for several species of fry, but that's work in progress, and we'll get back to that with an update. Okay guys, that's all for today. Thanks for hanging on this far. See you around next time. Thanks for watching.